prop gun can be a lot of different things. I think a lot of people don't understand what the word prop means. In film, a prop is any object that is interacted with by the actor. It doesn't need to be a fake object. Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm not super excited today because of the subject matter of this video. Before I get into anything else, I just want to put out a trigger warning. Obviously you can see by the title of the video, but I'll be talking about the accidental death of the cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, as well as the injury of Joel Souza, the director, by the actor Alec Bladwin on the set of Rust, the film. I also want to say that this video quality is not, considering it's a recorded video, and this was actually, it's a serious topic. I want to say I'm not using my camera because it didn't seem it was worthy of that setup. Just both my camera batteries were dead because I thought it was plugged in and it was not. That's why. So I'm going to be looking at my notes here. I have a ton of sources that I'll be linking down below with all the information, or all the places that I found the information from. Sorry if I'm a little jumbled in this video. It's very depressing to think about, talk about, but it's still super important to share because, especially with everything that's been going on with IATSE and the union, as I will get into in the story, it's all kind of tying together with this idea of the people at the top trying to cut corners, trying to spend less money, and lives are literally being lost because of it. And it's just time for that to stop. It's time for it to end. I'm fed up with it, and I'm not even in the industry yet, so I cannot even imagine what it's like for those who are already working in the industry, living with this on a daily life. I also think it's just so sad also because she's only 42. She still had so much of her life ahead of her, and she was making films. She was literally doing what she loved to do, and it was just taken away from her by an accident, something that didn't need to happen. So we can get into it. So just for a little more background, so the film Rust, which is technically it's a low budget independent film. The budget's still $7 million. So they have money to afford things, which will come in to play a little later. And they have already claimed, allegedly, the crew that they had already complained about extremely long hours, issues about getting their paychecks on time, them being promised hotels and then instead having to drive farther away. And apparently these reasons had caused 6 camera operators to walk off in protest of the set hours before the fatal shooting. Now, I heard that side of where they walked off in protest, and then there was also the fact that, however, in another article they talked about how the camera crew, these camera operators were working, and then the producers came up with non-union members to replace them, which is why they weren't on the set. So I wasn't there, so I'm not sure if maybe there was a protest at a different time and the producers decided to cut the union members so as to avoid further protests, or if there were some that left because of the protest and some that were replaced by the non-union members. It's a little unclear. I couldn't tell. I looked at a ton of articles, so I just wanted to put both of those out there. But the important part is that there were definitely complaints being issued, although the Rust Movie Productions LLC claims that there were no complaints, but they're doing an internal review to see what was up, and that the people in charge on the set at the time were not union workers handling the camera and doing certain work. This is important because the union would be IATSE, which has been going through a ton of drama recently with the strike potentially happening, the strike now being on hold, the new deal coming through, and just a lot of momentum gained about horrible working conditions on film sets and why change needs to happen in the future. So this was the 12th day of the shoot. It's a 21-day shoot, so they've already been working very long hours. They're over halfway there, but it's a drag. And according to information, the shooting occurred about 1:50 p.m., about 6 hours after the union camera crew left, whether they were protesting, or whether it's because they had just been replaced by the producers, because the producers were trying to save money. Now, the prop gun misfired allegedly before this shooting as well, where it had apparently misfired twice in the same week and then once before this. And this brings up a talk about safety on sets. Now, one of the other actors, Jensen Ackles, there is a clip of him getting some gun training. It's not a lot, and I didn't actually see the clip because it's already kind of been taken down on the internet. I was just reading some summaries of it. But it appears that someone said, hey, do you know how to work this? And he was like, yeah, pretty much, just like a mini little walkthrough. It is unclear whether Alec Baldwin got that same information or not, and whether it was the same kind of gun, because a prop gun can be a lot of different things. I think a lot of people don't understand what the word prop means. In film, a prop is any object that is interacted with by the actor. It doesn't need to be a fake object. Like this phone could be a prop phone if I call a phone in a scene, but it also could be a real phone. So a prop gun could be a fake gun. It could be a gun that is non-functioning. It could be made of wood. It could be a capped gun. But it could also be a regular gun that has been modified for blanks. Now, I think a lot of people think when you shoot a blank, you're not actually shooting anything. But that's not true. For film sets, when you shoot a blank, there is still gunpowder, and there's still stuff in there to cause the flash, the bang, to cause the actual person shooting to have a little bit of a recoil. But there shouldn't be the deadly, really hard tip of the weapon that gets launched. But in close quarters, it can still be very dangerous and potentially even deadly. However, there's supposed to be someone on set who's aware of kind of like the physics around the guns so that they're able to control, any flames, external debris, any gases. There's supposed to be someone who knows all this stuff and is there on hand to make sure nothing crazy happens. So it's, again, unclear if there was someone on the set doing that. Alec Baldwin was told that it was a cold gun, meaning there was nothing in it. No matter what he did, nothing was going to come out. So he was not expecting it to be a hot gun with a live single round in it, which it turned out to be because something came out of the gun. At first, the police were saying there wasn't a live single round, but they have since confirmed it had a live single round, as well as Local 44 IATSE also claimed that there was a live single round in the gun, and there was some miscommunication on the set somewhere so that Alec Baldwin was not aware of this when he was handling it, and for the director and the cinematographer to be injured and then the cinematographer to die, I don't think they were aware of it either, or they would not have been in such close proximity, because that's very dangerous. Unfortunately, Hutchins is not the first person to die by a gunshot on a set. Someone died filming The Crow, and there was another film someone also was injured and died on with gunshots. So it is not the first time this has happened, but it's the first time it's happened in a long time, and it just is not needed anymore. And I think to have guns on a live set, personally, I understand that it's, you do save the money of having to do the VFX in post, but we can do so much with computer effects now. I think it just makes sense to remove that whole element and have every gun be non-functioning or literally a fake gun. Alec Baldwin did speak out about the incident, saying, "There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic incident that took the life of Halyna Hutchins, a wife, mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I am fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred, and I am in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who knew and loved Halyna." I don't blame Alec Baldwin for this. There is no way he should have... Well, there's no way he would have known that the gun was not what it was supposed to be. Some people were really mad at him when the news first broke, and that's just not his job. It's not Alec Baldwin's job to know what's going on with the prop gun. It is the property master or the prop master's job. Alec Baldwin was just doing what he was instructed to do with the gun for the scene. But I feel very deeply for him as well as the family of Halyna Hutchins, because I personally can't imagine being responsible for the death of someone, even if it was inadvertent and, of course, accidental. And they are giving mental health resources to the crew, but I just can't imagine it. Halyna Hutchins' husband, Matt, is talking about if anyone wants to give anything in memoriam to his wife to contribute it to a scholarship fund, the American Film Institute, to further female cinematographers in their, fields of study and their dreams to make it in the industry, which I think is very nice. I will leave that down below as well so you can read information about that. Something I think that is good is that although the sheriff's department is looking into the incident in case that it turned out to be a little more criminal, because charges have not been filed right now, but potentially they will be if someone finds out it was not in fact accidental, the New Mexico Occupational Health and Safety Bureau is also looking into it. And that is great because they can look into it and see if the workplace was safe as a whole, and if it wasn't, they can give certain workplace penalties so that the people who were responsible for having safe working conditions who dropped the ball will be held responsible. Because, they should be. I don't think I need to explain why they should be held responsible for this when everyone else on the set is just trying to do their job and then you drop the ball. And not only does, the production shut down, so at least that the producers don't care about the lives of their workers, they care about the film budget and how they're now maybe not finishing this movie. I don't know if they're going to finish the movie. But mainly they're realizing that the life was lost. Long hours and having to drive back give concerns of losing lives in car accidents, but Halyna Hutchins died on this set, and she did not have to. She should still be alive. She should still be making this Western film and riding horses and being very happy about it. But because of people cutting corners, because of people trying to save money, rushing hours, she's dead. In a very cruel sense of irony, which you may have been reading about on the internet as well, the film is about someone who is on the run after accidentally killing somebody. Which I know some people were making kind of like really horrible jokes about. Like I saw some on Twitter. This is not something to make jokes about. It's an uncanny coincidence for sure. But it's not funny that someone actually died. In a movie, deaths can be sad, but they're not real. No one actually was killed in the making of the picture when it's a fictional story. Halyna's a real person. She has a real family. She had real dreams. She had a real life. And that was taken from her, and it didn't have to be. I feel like I'm just going to keep going in circles if I continue talking about this. I just really wanted to talk about it because it has been really weighing on me. It's been weighing a lot on my friends. I'm just kind of imagining if, I have friends who are cinematographers. I want to be a director. I direct my student projects. And the director for the film, he was also injured. He was taken to the hospital. He ended up being released. He's okay. But what if he hadn't been? That's very scary to think about. And yeah, it's just scary and very sad. So that's it. Just be extra conscious when you watch films about the people who literally gave their lives to make these movies, to make the entertainment that we watch.